Along with manipulating our data by understanding the views or layouts and the zoom utility, it is also important to understand how we can look for duplicate data, how we can paste things in other ways on the spreadsheet, and how we can freeze the panes. Let's discuss each of those in this movie. First, let's talk in terms of looking for duplicate data. You will notice on the spreadsheet that I have intentionally put in some duplicates. I'd like to remove those automatically. To do so, I'm going to the Data tab and over to the Data Tools portion of the ribbon. You will notice Remove Duplicates is right there. I'm going to select the information that I want to search through, go into Remove Duplicates, and you'll notice that my column headings come up. If I don't have it highlighted, I can simply say Select All. When I choose OK, you will notice that it tells me that one duplicate value was found and removed. Remember how we had 2 occurrences of 10 and 9? I am now down to 1. It's a wonderful tool for cleaning up your data. I also occasionally would like to repaste this data on another spreadsheet, but perhaps I'd like it linked. I'd like to have a portion of this table appear in another worksheet or another workbook, but I'd like to be able to change it in only one spot. To do this, I'm going to use the Paste Special command. This is going to be a normal copy function. I'm simply going to go home and use the Paste button, but rather click on the actual paste itself, I'm going to go down to the pull down and use Paste Special. Here's how it works. I selected my data and I will copy. I will go to a new workbook, a new worksheet, wherever I'd like the data to appear. The pull down under Paste, select Paste Special. Towards the bottom of the screen, you will notice it says Paste Link. I'm going to choose Paste Link, and my data appears. The beauty of this, though, is if I go in and I change the unit number 5 to unit 9, it is automatically changing within my documentation. I only have to change it once, and it's affected throughout the whole data. Now, I would like to use the Paste Special and show another component. Occasionally, when we're actually choosing data, we have the wrong layout. Let's say, for instance, that I put unit and quantity at columns, but I really meant for them to be rows. I really wanted my numbers to be the column. I am once again going to copy and once again select my destination. This time I'm going to go to Paste Special, but I'm going to use the Transpose button. Now I'm using transpose, but of course it's important for the examination to become familiar with each of the items that is in this dialog box. I'm going to choose OK, and you will notice unit and quantity are now rows, the numbers are now columns going across. Transpose simply flips your data from columns to rows. This can be a very useful feature when working with complicated spreadsheets. Now let's go back to our actual data and talk in terms of when we want to freeze panes. In this list, if I keep going up, I lose the title of my columns. Occasionally that can be very frustrating because you don't remember which column to type in which data. In this case, we can freeze our panes. To freeze a pane, I am simply going to go to the cell that I want to freeze it for. In this case, I want to take just the top row. I am going to the View tab, to the Windows ribbon, and that's where I'll find Freeze Pane. When I go to the pull down, you'll notice it allows you to automatically freeze the top row or freeze the first column. I'm going to choose top row. Now as I scroll through my data, you'll notice that the rows have been actually frozen on the screen. If I had wanted to freeze the first column, I'll choose Freeze First Column. Now you'll see that as I move my data, that column is actually frozen. If I'd like to remove them, I'll simply go back to Unfreeze and my columns are unfrozen. When you're working with Excel, make sure that you actually study the window menu. Remember, we talked earlier in terms of switching windows. Now we talk to freeze pane. Become familiar with all these tools prior to taking the examination.